All right, well, before we get out of here, let's talk some keys to the season. Usually we do keys to the game, but we haven't had a game yet, so we're going keys to the seasons, and then we'll get to our predictions. So we'll start off with Iowa State. I think the big thing, first of all, is going to be dynamic playmaking on offense.
Yes, last year they were very nickel and dime. They have the best running back in the country. They got one of the best tight ends in the country. They're going to slow work the ball down the field. Now you got a quarterback with a huge arm. Your best offensive talent are your wide receivers. I think you're right. Getting dynamic offense, being able to play these big shot plays that they haven't been able to do in years past.
Yeah, I think the next one's going to be consistency, and that means finishing out games. I know we have some stats here. I think last year, majority of those losses were by a touchdown or less, something like that.
Yeah, Iowa State last year was 2-6 in games decided by 10 points or less. In the year prior to that, the year they went to the Fiesta Bowl, they were 4-2 in such games. So consistency meaning avoid the dumb stuff. You know, don't turn the ball over with 4 times. Don't fumble it, or don't throw an interception, or miss on a 4th down, or miss a tackle. I mean, the consistency and just taking care of the things you need to take care of.
Yeah, and I think the last one is I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and as Mike Tomlin likes to say, we need more splash on defense. I think we talked about it earlier. They're good at forcing teams into making errors, but they don't necessarily capitalize on those errors and turn those into turnovers.
Yeah, there's a couple different kinds of turnovers. There's the unforced error where, you know, a guy just drops the ball and then you pick it up. Then there's also kind of the forced ones. Like, you can't control the ones where some guy just drops it, but the ones that you have the chance to get, you have to get. So they have to be better at forcing turnovers when they get mistakes.
Absolutely. Let's switch gears and talk some Hawkeyes here. I think the biggest one is, you hit on it throughout the show, is more production on offense, specifically in that pass game.
Yeah, they've been they've been inconsistent. They've been bad. The defense has been so good that it hasn't mattered that they've been bad. But if they don't get, they're not plus 13 or plus 18 in turnover margin like they were at times last year. Their offense hasn't been able to move it down the field. Can they change that? If they can be just okay, this Iowa team can be special. But if they're bad again like they were last year, again, chance for an average season.
Yeah, something that they have done in the past, they got to keep doing is forcing those turnovers on defense. Their defense is their strong suit. At times, their best offense. Forcing turnovers, a big key for them this season?
Yeah, and they got, again, there's the accidental ones where a punter just drops the ball and you get a land on it. You can't control for those. But they do a really good job of baiting you into mistakes and then turning those mistakes, especially guys like Riley Moss, at turning those mistakes into points or huge turnover plays.
Yeah, and that last one, a more potent run game. I mean, that's going to help this offense tremendously. If you can be balanced and give your guys some relief there, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, and you lose Goodson and Linderbaum, 2 of your best players. You return Sam Laporta, so you have a good blocker, you have a good receiver. You've got the capacity to do it. Now you just have to go out and execute. So for Iowa, it's going to be a big chance to just, again, improve offense if you can improve the offense just a little bit.
All right, well, real quick before we get out of here, our season predictions. I have Iowa going 8-4 in the regular season, and Iowa State going 7-5. What do you got?
Right in there, plus or minus 1 on each one of those. But cool to see both teams successful.